and hub zones. I'm going to touch upon and elaborate on some of the things that Antonio talked about in his slides. And number 8, I'm going to talk about the top 25 8A companies that Sumi and Tepilnim talked about earlier in her presentation. And then I'm going to talk about the importance of the Native 8A program and how beneficial. So in 2018 alone, 8A contracting accounted for $62 billion in the US. That was just last year. So there's a common misconception of people in the US when they think of Native Americans. They think they're just killing it off Indian gaming. They think about places like Mohegan Sun, Foxwoods, and then the Indian reservation casinos in California, such as Pechanga and Palo. But these are the sad statistics of how most people that live on tribal lands, and Native Americans in general, what they go through. So Congress, recognizing the impact that the 8A program had on the other minority groups, as mentioned before, the Asians, Blacks, the Latinos, they decided to create a way for tribal nations to take more advantage and to seek benefits. Back then, they called it Super 8A, but now it's more commonly referred to as Native 8A. So you're going to see a lot of benefits in the next few slides, and why it's extremely advantageous for Korean corporations to partner with our Native American brothers and sisters in the US. So these are just the general eligibility requirements for obtaining 8A status with the SBA. And you can read them, and at the end of this slide there will be my email. And all these materials, you can, I'll send them to you through email if you want to learn more about them. And also Tandoor and NextCorp will be the same. But the major point on this slide, the very last point on the right, your certification will last for a maximum of 9 years. When you partner with tribal corporations, that is basically waived, because tribal organizations have a special benefit where they can operate more than one tribal-owned corporation, and they can continue to maintain the status and perpetually, forever, take benefits of the Native 8A program until some jackass in Congress wants to repeal that too. So this just goes on, and because I'm an attorney, I listed in the USC and the CFR, the Code of Federal Regulations, where all the definitions and eligibility criteria come from. So this is the definition of Indian tribe based on the SBA programs that's codified in the CFR. I'm sorry, but I've been asked to just speed through the presentation because the earlier ones ran a bit long, so bear with me here. This is just the definition of the ANCs. They were the first that were invited into the Super 8A program back in 1982. And this is the definition of the NHOs, the National Hawaiian Organizations. They were invited in 2002. So this is the eligibility criteria for tribal social disadvantage and tribal economic disadvantage. As I mentioned before, the regular 8A companies, the other minority-owned, women-owned, service, disabled veterans, they have to meet the specified criteria. But if you're a tribal nation, you automatically are considered an SDB, a small disadvantage benefit business. And then the last point on the right, once an Indian tribe establishes its status with the SBA, they don't have to reapply after that 9-year period. They can continue to create partnerships, subsidiaries, and partner with anyone they choose. So you're going to learn in the next few slides, tribal nations, they're allowed to choose anyone they want to do business with. They don't have to fall prey to that $22 million justification. and there's no competitive bidding process. They can choose who they want to partner with, and there's no protest. This is just more of the semantics and legal justifications and what you have to do. And currently you can see that there's over 300 tribal AMCs and NHOs in the 8A program right now. Alright, so this is a very important slide. This talks about the difference between native entity-owned versus native-owned. So native entity-owned means that the actual tribal nation owns the corporation, and they can reap all of these benefits. But native-owned is, for example, if Bubba owned his own contracting company, he's a native, but it's not owned by the tribe per se, and he would qualify still for the benefits, but some of the things, such as this third bullet point on the left, he can't take advantage of owning multiple companies at the same time, and that 2-year waiting period would apply to him. But the tribal nations, that 2-year waiting period is waived automatically. The only thing that you guys have to prove and show to the SBA compliance officers is a legit business and marketing plan. And I've worked with a lot of companies that try to get 8A certified in the US, and it is a very easy hurdle. And any native-owned corporation, the SBA really wants to, continue to have more native 8A partnerships and alliances, so you don't really have to worry about that. So this is just more of what I've mentioned before, and there's talk about hub zones, and since Antonio already covered that in his slide, if anyone wants to know more about this, again, I'll email you the presentation, and you can you'll see my email at the end of this presentation. Alright, so this is, not really applicable. This is just some of the things that the SBA has passed along regarding the Native 8A program. And last year, they said about 3,000 different corporations applied for the hub zone status mentioned before. So again, I'm just pontificating on points that I mentioned earlier. The 22 million justification and approval, no protest, direct negotiation with the government. So, the hub zone certification, any businesses that are currently located in Indian country or on tribal land automatically get the designation. You don't have to apply, you don't have to do any inconsequential paperwork, you automatically get the designation. And the last couple of points, those have to do with DoD contracts, but I've already talked to some of you tribal members, and Indian country, they really don't mess with DoD contracts to do defense. That's all up to the guys that have been doing it for 50 years, like the Boeings, the Halliburtons, the Northrop Grumman's. So yeah, this is a slide that Kim Sumin Heptanim showed earlier, but just to show, the top company does $242 million annually, and on this list of 25, and this is just 8A companies, these aren't all native 8A, but amongst these 25, 9 are native 8A corporations owned by the tribes, not by an individual. And on average, they do 70 million. And none of this is Indian gaming. It's all IT consulting, healthcare consulting. So there's a lot of different ways that you guys can form strategic alliances with these Korean partners and these Korean gentlemen that have come here today to learn more about the advantages of native 8A. Okay, so the SBA, they're creating more and more regulations. There's been people like Senator Claire McCaskill, Democrat from Missouri. She's been fighting a lot of things, and she's been trying to repeal a lot of the favorable advantages to tribal lands, but she was unseated earlier this year in April by Peter James, I'm not sure, but yeah, she's no longer in Congress, but you guys already know. Like every year, there's someone that wants to challenge. I believe last year they just finalized the appeal from Allergen Pharmaceutical that gave patent rights to the St. Regis Mohawk tribe up by Montreal in the state of New York. And yeah, it was quite unfortunate, but the Mohawk tribe, they were given these patents by Allergen Pharmaceutical only to be later taken away, and they lost on appeal. So yeah, that was not a loss for Indian country. So the importance of Native 8A, as I get to know all of you guys, you become my friends. We've shared stories together, breakfast, lunch. We've even talked about our faith, shared testimony. Yesterday, Kevin Baba he sang a great Native spiritual song for us at the host reception dinner. But I know a lot of things that are important to you. It's not just money. It's cultural preservation. You want to build something for future dynasties. You don't just care about your generation, but you care about your sons and daughters, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren. You want to see your dynasty continue, and I know your cultural your heritage is very important to you, and it's very important to us in Korea as well. Just for instance, I know Rhonda's niece. She's lived in Korea here teaching English, and now she has a Korean boyfriend that she's been dating for a while. And this is the perfect example of a union between Korea and Native America, right here. These two lovely lovebirds right in front of us. And I just hope that we can form strategic alliances, and I'm very honored that all of you from Kiowa and Comanche Nation, when you introduced yourselves, you're looking forward to partnering with the people in this room. And, I have to thank our hosts again, NextCorp and Tandoy Corporation. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you.
Okay.